Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now today I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about watts per kilo and how I use that in my training. Today is going to be a rest day for me. In the last couple of days, over the past 2 days, I have done a combined 110 miles of endurance, Zone 3 endurance riding. So, and I am now I'm into my off-season, just kind of keep base mode. So I'm going to take today off the bike and not do any working out, get some extra recovery. Now, I wanted to do a quick video for you guys today, talking to you about the way I'm currently doing my training, and that's through using a principle called watts per kilo. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about how easy it is to equate, to find out what what your watts per kilo ranges are and stuff like that. Now, basically, all it is it's just simply a mathematical equation where you take how much you weigh in pound. I start off in pounds just because I'm American. I've always used that system. So I start off in my pounds. What do I weigh in at each morning? Say I'm on a training ride. I weigh in the morning, and I'll use some examples from what I know through my own from my own samples. For example, this morning I weighed in at 126 pounds. So I know that taking 126 pounds and multiply that by 0.454, you're gonna get your weight in kilograms, which for me would be, I think that's 57.2 if I did the math right, or if I can remember right. But basically, in order to determine your watts, in order to determine your weight in kilograms, just take whatever it is in pounds and times that by 0.454, and you're going to get how many kilos you weigh. And from there, it's just simply adding up the kilos. And say I want to do a zone. For me, if I wanted, like yesterday, me and Bruce went out for a ride. Our average power was 169, and for me, that's pretty much right in that 3 watts per kilo range. So for me, that was a good Zone 3 tempo ride. And say I want to do a recovery ride, being 57 kilos, 57 times 2 would be around 115ish. I wouldn't want to be pushing, if I was going to do a zone, either a Zone 2, Zone 1 to Zone 2 recovery ride, I would ride at about 110, 115 watts, maybe 120, but to get recovery, you'd want to be in the lower end of that, so I'd probably ride about 110, 115 watts. And for me, that would be a good recovery ride, and I know that mathematically. It's a mathematical equation. I'm in my power ranges. It's a good ride. And on the contrary, when I'm really pushing hard in my intervals, and when I'm really, training for my races, I'm pushing the envelope, and I'm trying to, like on hill surges, say I'm climbing a hill that takes me a minute to climb up. It's going to take me a minute to climb this hill. I'll try to climb that hill at 6-7 watts per kilo if I can. And that's how I'm doing my training now, is I'm basically weighing in each day, and I'm putting these numbers in my head. And the more you do this, the more you're going to just kind of know your numbers without even thinking about it. And I kind of, determine what kind of ride I want to go on. If I want to go on a good sweet spot ride, I'll ride at 3 watts per kilo. If I want to do a recovery ride, I'll ride somewhere between 1 and 2, probably 1.5 watts per kilo, and I'll just punch out the math, and boom, I'll be looking to hold that power output for the duration of the ride, or as much as I can. And if I want to do some really hard intervals, I'll try to push anywhere from 5 to, I've even tried to push as much as 9-10 watts per kilo on certain short intervals. And and if you can, and what I'm trying to do is build up my fitness to where, like, my target goal, honestly, my target goal right now is I want to be able to push 5.5 watts per kilo for 10 minutes. That's my goal, is to be able to do a 5-minute climb and to sustain 5.5 watts per kilo power. That's my goal. That's what I'm training to do. And I think it's really encouraging when you kind of have that exact number that you have to chase. You know, I just think it helps keep you cemented in your training, and you have this exact prize to track down and to go after. And I think it's helping me. It's helping me stay structured in my workouts, because I know, all right, I'm due for an easy day. I'm only going to ride, 1.5, 2 watts per kilo. Or if I'm going to be out on a long endurance ride, I'll try to hold around 3 watts per kilo if I can. And when I'm doing some intervals, I'll really push out some hard, 5, 7, 8 watts per kilo intervals. And so that's how I'm training now. That's the basic principle behind watts per kilo training. Zwift is really cool because it actually, while you're on Zwift riding around, it actually shows you what you're riding at as far as watts per kilo. So that's really cool. And now I'm also going to show you guys quickly also, there's actually a chart that I found online. And because I'm training to become a good racer. I want to become a good bike racer. And like currently I'm a Category 4 racer. And so there's actually charts out there which will show you, all right, you're a Category 4 rider. To ride Category 4 pace and to do well, you need to be able to push a certain watts per kilo in theory to do well. And it goes up, right through the categories, right up to, world tour level racer, which those numbers are ridiculous, but you never know. I mean, I'm just going to keep plugging away and seeing how high I can get. But, I'm trying to work my way up that chart and see just how fit I can become and just how good of a bike racer I can become. And having this structured number breakdown, I think is really it's really a good thing, and it can really help keep you on track, and it can help you know, like, if you've been training and you can hit certain numbers, it gives you more confidence going into a race, knowing, hey, I know for a fact that we got this hill in this race coming up. It's a it's a 2-mile hill. It's going to take me 13 minutes to climb that hill. I know I can hold this wattage for 13 minutes. And it's going to give you confidence when you're out there in that race, and it's going to give you a great way to pace yourself, and that's how I'm training. So I just wanted to do this video for you guys, just explain to you a little bit about watts per kilo if you weren't sure, and just kind of tell you, how I'm using that for my training, and it's very easy to equate what yours is. Like I said, simply take your weight in pounds, times that by 0.454. That's your weight in kilos, and then from there you just do some quick additions, and you've got your zones, and you can go and train away. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in here to the channel. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys right back here in the next video.